safe assumption that you all know what bees are. There are loads of different species. You might see them in a patch of flowers, on the sidewalk you're walking down, or around their hive. Some of you might fear them despite the average bee length being an eighth of an inch. Bee stings are only a threat if you bother them, much like literally any other creature on the planet. But despite a person's dislike of them, bees are much more important to the environment than you think. They're found in every continent except for Antarctica, doing their vital job of pollinating plants. Yet despite them being such a key species, their numbers have been declining. In 2006, beekeepers reported that their hive losses jumped from 5 to 10% to 30 to 50%. Exactly why this is happening doesn't have a completely definite answer, but scientists speculate that some causes may be parasites, habitat destruction, and cell phones. Varroa mites, these ugly suckers, feed on the bodily fluids of bees. They usually carry many viruses that are extremely harmful. Some diseases severely damage their wings, slowly killing the individual insect. They also face habitat destruction due to industrial agriculture. Deforestation for the purpose of growing crops forces bees into smaller and smaller spaces. Even making a call can have its impacts. Electromagnetic waves projecting from phones messes with the bees' ability to return to their colony, harming their navigation system. Thankfully, at the moment, we don't need to panic just yet. Bee populations have yet to be critically threatened. However, some species have begun to show their faces on the United States endangered list, one being the rusty patch bumblebee. This thing. The species that was once found in 31 states, but now lives in only 13. The problem is not how many bees are currently in the world, but how quickly they are dying. Well, that sure sounds fantastic for the local bee jerk that stung your arm that one time when you were a kid, but how well bees are doing directly affects you. The disappearance of such a necessary pollinator would be absolutely catastrophic. Bees pollinate 70 out of 100 crops that feed 90% of the world, meaning we could lose anywhere from a third to a half of our diet. You would start seeing less and less of almonds, pumpkins, apples, cucumbers, oranges, and peaches. And without proper vegetation to feed livestock, dairy products like yogurt, milk, and cheese would begin to become progressively harder to make, sell, and buy. And this also goes for poultry and literally anything grown on farms that feeds on plants. It still doesn't stop there. Cotton, such a primary cloth-making material, would have to be hand-pollinated, as well as a beautiful sunflower and nearly any common flower you can think of. A United Nations global assessment reported by Merritt Kennedy suggested that as much as 40% of all invertebrate pollinator species could face extinction, and of course that also means no honey. So yeah, bees are a pretty big deal. While you may not be in no position to take federal actions into your own hands and start your Save the Bees campaign, there are still things you can do to help out. And even if you think the footprint you leave behind is insignificant, if more people do it, it makes a big difference. You can buy local organic food, never use pesticides to treat your garden, plant bee-friendly flowers, like these. And email your state representatives and tell them what you think should be done. So what can we do to prevent the complete annihilation of bees? Africanization is one solution. African bees are known for being aggressive and violent, earning the nickname killer bees. They were imported to Brazil from South Africa in 1956 and have breeded with local bees since. These hybrid Africanized bees have been outperforming local bees in fertilizing queens. They're now found all across the Americas, colonizing from Argentina all the way to Arizona and could start appearing in California. But they have their benefits. They do better in tropical climates than European bees and are less affected by pesticides and varroa mites. South American beekeepers have no need to spray their hives against the mites and can sell their honey as pesticide-free. Research is still trying to determine if the good characteristics of each species can be combined and the less good avoided. Here's some fun facts so I can waste more time. Bees technically have 3 genders: the queen, the drone, and the worker. The queen is obviously female and the drones are all males. And while the worker's sex is female, they don't serve any function of reproduction and can therefore be classified as something else. Honeybees have 5 eyes, are the only insects to make honey, and don't sleep at all, ever. Relatable. Queens can lay up to 2,000 eggs per day. And finally, it would take approximately 1 ounce of honey to fuel a bee's flight around the whole world, moving at the speed of 15 miles an hour. Also, understand that bees aren't out to get you. They're vegetarians and couldn't possibly care less about you. If one lands on you, don't freak out. She probably thinks you smell nice and will move on soon after she realizes you're not a flower. Don't get in their way and they won't be in yours. Hopefully I've convinced some of you that we need bees desperately. Don't squash those sweet little things. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk. Goodbye. Oh. That's a wrap, kiddos.
That's a wrap.
Give me that SD card, fool.
It's so hilarious. Because, okay, sorry.